not sure what to think of Malashov. I reckon it was a success. I can't bring myself to feel happy about it.
What's done is done. The devil got his ass kicked, the peasants still have a roof over their heads. And if it weren't for you, half our men who are now rotting beneath the walls would still be breathing.
What would you have done in my place?
In your place, I would have kept my mouth shut and done as I was told. Look, I know you probably imagined yourself heroically saving the king and protecting innocents. And believe me, that's exactly what we're doing. It's just not as simple and honorable as we'd like it to be.
So, I'm back. How's it going? Have you got anything out of von Bergow?
You came at the right time. We're just about to deal with him. And you can join in.
Welcome to Suchdol, Lord von Bergow. Despite the circumstances that brought you here.
It is an honor, Peter. Compared to what I had to endure from Zizka and Kunstadt, your good manners are a welcome change.
I'll do my best to make your, involuntary stay no more inconvenient than it has to be.
Aren't you being a bit too welcoming, Sir Peter?
Just what I was thinking. Fuck that bollocks! He's a captive, not some busty wench! He's only alive to squeal what he knows. It'd be quicker if I just beat it out of him.
Hold your horses. He's a noble and Sigismund's right hand. If we torture him, he'll be no use to us as a hostage, and Sigismund will be out to avenge him.
That's true. Even though I'd be only too happy to settle scores with him. I gave him my word.
Why the fuck should I care about that?
When it comes down to it, the word of a nobleman is an oath before God. Even the devil must respect that.
Fuck this shit. The longer I listen to this bastards, the more my fists itch.
Instead of these pathetic threats, why do you not make me an offer? You do know that I am...
Shut your trap, Otto. Right now you're nothing. You lost most of your men at Rabos, and the rest croaked when we took Malashov. So what do you have left? A nice coat? And a smug face?
Do you really think Sigismund made me his chamberlain because of my soldiers? Or to have someone to take care of the running of conquered fortresses?
Shut up, damn it! We're asking the questions.
Really? Then why have I not heard a single one yet? And what a shame that is. I am a pragmatic man, and I'm sure we can work something out. But lay a hand on me, and you will not hear a single word.
He's right. Apart from von Aulitz, he's Sigismund's closest man. He knows everything about him and his plans. We should try it the peaceful way first.
You're buying that? He talks just like Jobst. When he gets here, they can yap till doomsday for all I care. But now we just don't have the time.
Jobst wants to come back here. After he got away from us by the skin of his teeth?
Well, he has to show Sigismund our army up close.
So it's true. I couldn't believe the Margrave had finally made a move. I thought he would never march into battle.
See? Fortune is turning her back on you people. A pragmatic man like you ought to recognize an opportunity. If you help us, the Margrave will remember you for it. And will also let bygones be bygones.
You're getting ahead of yourself a bit, boy. The crown is still firmly on Sigismund's head, and Jobst won't find it easy to wrest it of him. Although, I expect you people have no idea of the situation Sigismund is in right now.
Oh. What situation is he in, then?
In the shit, Lord Trotsnov. In the shit. So, a sensible person should seize every opportunity that presents itself. and I am eminently sensible. Lord Capon,
Yes?
when you came to Trosky, you were carrying a message with an offer of an alliance from Lords Hanush and Radzik, were you not?
Exactly.
I think it is time I gave you my answer.
A wise decision, sir.
But suspicious. Why the sudden change of heart?
You think I'm some villain, don't you? But I've only ever wanted what is best, believe me. What is best for this country, for my loyal supporters, and, naturally, for myself. And I'm not ashamed of that. And it appears that Sigismund is no longer what is best. He's in trouble, both here and in Hungary. The army is not getting paid, morale is poor, and the Kuttenberg miners are rebelling, so the crown is running out of silver.
I see. The butcher's on his way, so you want to flee the pigsty, eh?
Naturally. And together we can even set fire to this pigsty, as you put it. If you want my advice.
I'm all ears, sir.
The last straw Sigismund is grasping is the royal treasury at the Italian court. If he were to lose his silver, he wouldn't be able to pay his soldiers and would have to withdraw to Hungary.
We're supposed to rob the Italian court.
The most secure place in the town?
Of course! And while you're there, you can also free the lords captured at Raborz.
My father.
Lord Pisek, as the former mint master, you must surely know of some way to sneak in.
There is no way. The court's an impregnable fortress.
Really? What about tunneling in? There are hundreds of tunnels beneath the city, and if I'm not mistaken, one of them runs beneath the court.
That's total madness. There might be some passageway leading there, but no one knows those old tunnels now. Besides, they might collapse at any time. One could easily come to a bad end there.
But that can also happen when you try to mount a horse drunk. What's with this tunnel?
There's a whole labyrinth of tunnels under the city. You'd have to dig from inside the treasury to find the one you want. And where they all lead to, God alone knows.
God and me.
Oh, pardon me, milady, but how would you know?
Not all young noblewomen devote their days to embroidery, Sir Peter. I look after Father's documents, and I know all about the plans of the passageways beneath our palace. St. James's Church owes its existence in part to the generous donations of the Oratores. So in the past we had a secret underground entrance built into its crypts, and St. James's is right next to the Italian court.
A handy escape route from the palace, eh? If you don't mind crawling through a tunnel, that is.
In short, you can theoretically walk directly from Rutard Palace to the Italian court.
Sure. That is, after breaking through the walls that separate the crypt from the tunnel, and the tunnel from the cellars.
That sounds almost too easy.
You took the words out of my mouth. With a bit of luck, we'll get to the cellars of the court. What then?
What do you think? The guards will come down on you and it'll all be over.
So we need someone who can help us on the inside. Someone who'll distract the guards and lead us to the silver.
What about Ulrich Vavak? If we threaten him a little, he might help us.
Most importantly, he's got the Mintmaster's key. You'll need it to get to the silver. But I wouldn't advise you to rely on the help of that sycophant of Sigismund's.
Nor would I. Couldn't your brother help us instead, Lord Pisek?
Christian? He can be hard to deal with sometimes. He'd be taking a big risk, and besides, he doesn't have the Mintmaster's key to the treasury. I'm afraid Vavak's your only hope.
There is one other possibility.
Oh? What's that, Sir Otto?
Perhaps you have heard about the expected arrival here of a rare visitor from very far away.
Who? Do you mean... Surely not.
The very one.
What the fuck are you talking about? Speak clearly!
Well then, a papal legate is on his way to the town directly from Rome. He's coming to adjudicate the dispute about the new church.
What's that got to do with us?
Where would he be received except at the Italian court, along with his entourage? No one knows them, no one has ever seen them, and very few understand their language. They might as well be volunteering for you to take their place.
Well, bugger me. This is starting to sound fucking good.
What? What do you mean, take their place? Are we supposed to kill them, or what?
Why not?
Fuck.
We can't. Godwin, say something. You're a priest, after all.
You're right. Jesus! Get a grip, fellas. Do you want to burn in hell?
Calm down. We'll just lock the Pope's lackey up for a bit, and once we've got the silver, we'll let him go again. No one gets hurt.
St. Joseph, cover thy ears!
Where will we find that legate?
He's staying in Loretz, at the vineyard. He's got the use of the whole place for himself and his escort. But I don't know how many there are.
Good. We'll send Catherine there to have a look.
And then we'll burst in there and cause a bit of a fuss, so he doesn't get any stupid ideas. And that'll be that.
Gentlemen, the legate is a man of the cloth, like me. I know Latin, and even a bit of Italian too, as it happens. I could explain to him what we need. Maybe we can persuade him to go along with it.
He'll tell us to kiss his arse, more likely.
Sir Hinek, never underestimate the power of sweet words. Especially when the listener has a knife at his throat.
It's true, none of us would be very convincing as an Italian cardinal. It'd be better if we made him take us with him, as his retinue.
But what do we do with the legate's real retinue?
Lock them up at the Devil's Den. One of our men can guard them there.
A couple more peculiar fellas blabbering nonsense won't look out of place there in the slightest.
All right, let's say we get inside with the legate. What then? What if he betrays us?
That's why we mustn't let him out of our sight. Godwin will take care of that.
Me?
You said you spoke Italian, didn't you? If he starts squealing, you'll hold a dagger to his ribs and ask him politely to play nice.
May God look the other way.
Meanwhile, the rest of us will have to deal with the guards inside, prepare the ground for digging, and open the treasury.
That's damned risky.
No one will be expecting us. As long as we don't make a ruckus too soon, it'll all be over. And the whole place will be ours before they even notice.
What if the legate refuses to talk to us?
Well, we can always beat him up. Take his clothes and let someone else put them on. Like, Godwin, eh? Since he's a priest.
Hold on. I'm not going to play the jester for anyone.
Nobody's asking you to. We stick to the plan. We'll work on the legate so he agrees to take us in with him. Then we'll find a way somehow.
All right. I can't think of anything better anyway.
Agreed then. We'll try gentle persuasion to begin with. And now, to the task! Henry, you go to the town and squeeze anything that could help us out of Vavak.
Most importantly, get that key from him.
Then wait for us at Rotard Palace, where we'll set up our base. We'll get there first thing in the morning.
And how are you going to get inside? The palace will be closed and maybe guarded. I don't expect you want to march through the main entrance, where everyone can see you, and break the gate down while you're at it.
That's true, milady. What do you suggest?
There's not only a passageway to the church, but also down to the river. I know it like the back of my hand. I could show Henry the way if you like.
No offense, my lady, but you'll be safer here.
Zizka's right. I can do this on my own.
Do you want to get into the court? Then you need Rotard Palace. You want Rotard Palace? Then I'm coming along.
All right. Both of you are going to town. And no dawdling. You should be on the road tomorrow at the latest. Time is of the essence.
Well, that's that then. Let's get to work.
What do you think of the deal with von Bergow?
I don't care about von Bergow right now. Did you see how everyone ignored me there? I may be younger than them, but I'm still a nobleman.
They're nobles too.
That was no obstacle to you in Malashov when you went against the devil.
I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I didn't do something.
That makes sense. And the devil could use a few more cuts and bruises. You did the right thing. I probably wouldn't have taken him on.
If Sir Hanush saw you at Malashov, he'd be proud.
Well, now I just look like a fool. And it was only thanks to me that von Bergow even lived to see that council.
But you can't really blame Sam. If you were in his place, you'd see red too.
Whatever. Someone like him has no business threatening a noble's life.
Someone like him?
You know what I mean. Why do you keep defending that madman?
Well, he's the closest thing to a brother that I've got.
You don't even share any blood. Even I could be your brother in that case.
A nobleman and a dung grubber, brothers? Impossible.
All right then. But try to understand, he simply went too far. Von Bergow will remember that well.
Is there anything I could do to make your stay in Suchdol more tolerable?
Well, you could send Zizka, Kunstadt, and their gang away from here. But I have a feeling you couldn't do that even if you wanted to.
Well...
That's all right, Sir Peter. A bed will suffice for now.
I had a chamber prepared for you. And if it doesn't offend you, you're invited to my table.
I will be delighted to accept your offer. If your supplies will stretch to me as well as the army of Jobst, I mean. By the way, when will I finally get to see this army?
You personally? Never with a bit of luck. But I have to place a guard on you. You do understand, don't you?
Of course. I know how these things go.
Is there anything else?
Yes. Since we are going to be sitting at the same table, I would like to hear something about this region.
I'm not sure I'm the right one to tell you. I spend most of my time right here.
I've arrived here only recently. Apart from Gutenberg and Malashov, I haven't seen much of these parts. But you have been the steward of Suchdol for years, and a capable one at that, from what I hear. I'm sure you know the locality. I would be grateful if you would share your knowledge with me.
Gladly. At least it will shorten the evenings for us.
I thought people like you would abhor defection.
I'm your hostage. I appreciate being treated well, and I don't hesitate to reciprocate. That is all.
You'll be nothing but a traitor to Sigismund and his people.
If you attempt to steal the silver, you will draw all attention to yourself, whether you succeed or not. They will hunt you like vermin. And my so-called betrayal will be the least of their concerns for quite a while.
You want to buy your safety by snitching on your own allies?
What snitching? Sigismund's precarious position is no secret. And I don't have to worry about my safety, do I? Lords Capon and Pisek have sworn that no harm shall befall me, assuming you can keep that Jew in line.
I hope it's not too comfortable for you here. Just say the word and I'll arrange it so you can sleep down in the cellars.
No need to worry, lad. Being under one roof with Zizka and Kunstadt is torment enough.
I'd never have thought it'd be so easy. Getting revenge on you, I mean. First Istvan Toth, now you. And tomorrow...
By tomorrow, you may all be dead. Actually, I would say that is becoming more and more likely.
Would you like to know how Istvan died? What it sounded like when he fell out of that window and got smashed on the rocks below the tower.
You seem to be laboring under the naive illusion that I cared about Doth. You killed a murderer and a fool. All you achieved by that was saving us the trouble.
Don't try that tough talk on me. You're afraid, aren't you?
Afraid of what? You?
Of not being firmly in charge for once. You have to dance to someone else's tune. And that terrifies you.
An interesting idea. I will remember it when I am dining with Lord Pisek, and you are picking up crumbs outside somewhere.
You pretend to be the Lord of Lords, but had no qualms about taking a defenseless woman prisoner. You should be ashamed.
I would feel more ashamed if I hadn't taken her hostage.
If I learn you laid one finger on her...
Calm down, Sir Knight. I took her to Malashov to make sure nobody would hurt her. There were many in Kuttenberg looking for a way to blackmail or at least humiliate Rudhard. And a pretty young daughter like that is the perfect means to that end. Do you not think?
First you have Rudhard imprisoned, and now you're helping his daughter. Why?
Can you imagine? I don't like unnecessary violence. Especially violence against the fair sex. Moreover, that Rudhard girl is a remarkable young lady. Despite her apparent aloofness, I must say, I was quite charmed by her. And so were you, judging by how much you ask about her.
That's none of your business.
So be it. But I advise you to hold onto her tooth and nail. She's smarter than all of you put together.
I hope she's been treated well. As you say, she is Rudhard's daughter and heiress.
Don't worry. I personally made sure she never wanted for anything.
Henry, how are you doing?
You know how it goes. It could always be worse. I've got this feeling the worst is still ahead of us.
Same here. Trouble's coming from all sides. We'll see how it turns out.
Anyway, sir, I don't mean to be rude, but I doubt you just want to ask how I'm doing.
No. You're right. Let me get to the point. I need help with something, but I have no one to ask. Even though I know you have a lot on your plate.
I'd be happy to offer my services. What's it about?
An old friend of mine reached out to me, Albik of Unichov. Does the name ring a bell?
Well, I know he's a healer. When one of the knights got wounded during the tournament in Kuttenberg, he really took good care of him.
Physician would be the more accurate term. But even that barely does him justice. He's one of the greatest scholars of our age, and also King Wenceslas's personal physician. It's whispered at court that the king has fallen seriously ill while imprisoned in Vienna.
Sigismund focuses on plundering his kingdom, and Wenceslas's health hardly seems to concern him, does it?
Maybe.
Damn. That does sound serious.
When Master Albik heard about it, he decided to act.
He wants to go all the way to Vienna to see the king?
No. For now, he's heading to Sedlec. Abbot Jan holds considerable influence at Sigismund's court. Albik wants to visit him and ask for his intercession.
Yeah, I don't like it. If the abbot is allied with Sigismund, he might want to detain Albik, or blackmail him.
I feel the same, but Albik won't be talked out of it. He sees helping the king as his highest duty.
And how does all this concern me?
As I said, it's a matter of security. God forgive me, our king's health is of course above all. But right now, I'm more worried about Albik. It took some effort, but I convinced him to wait, at least until I find him a reliable escort. and believe me, it wasn't easy. That mule's got a scholar's head, but it's a stubborn one.
Can you tell me more about the abbot? Sorry, but it sounds like you're afraid of him. I met him once, too, but I didn't get a bad impression.
You know Abbot Jan?
Not quite. We had dealings once. Something with bones. But never mind that. Go on.
Look, Henry, every high-ranking cleric's a politician in his own way. What worries me about Abbot Jan is what he ascribes his authority to. Others claim their vocation is divine will. He sees it somewhat the other way round.
I don't really get it.
It's only natural for an abbot or a bishop to question the morality of his acts. One must act, even if it means confession and penance later. Abbot Jan, though, seems to think that his every move and scheme is divine will itself, and that could be dangerous.
What's that got to do with you?
Albic and I go way back. He's been living over the Alps for a few years, studying at the university in Padua. As soon as I heard about Wenceslas, I asked him to come back. It's a serious matter, and when it comes to the king's health, he's the best there is. But I didn't expect him to act so rashly.
So, if I've got this straight, you want me to escort Wenceslas's court physician to the Sedlets monastery, where they don't usually let anyone in, and the abbot is as thick as thieves with Sigismund, so Albic, who was dead set on going himself, can try to get access to the imprisoned Wenceslas?
No, actually, yes, that's exactly it.
All right, I'll go with Albic. Last time I was at the monastery, it was, quite an experience.
Experience?
That's a long story. So what do you want me to do?
Stop by and talk to Albic, then decide for yourself. I meant to host him here, but he'd probably be bored out of his mind. He lodged in the meantime in Kuttenberg, at the Tarmac with an apothecary. I think his name's Talbot. Give this letter to Albic, so he'll know I sent you personally.
Tarmac, apothecary. All right, I'll go find him.
Good luck. I'll be in your debt.
It looks like the two of us will be going to Kuttenberg alone.
I can hardly wait.
Aren't you looking forward to going home?
When they captured Pa, von Bergow's people came to Rutard Palace.
Did they do anything to you?
No, I wasn't harmed. But before they took me away, they ransacked the place. Then von Bergow just took me to Malashov. It's likely Vavak took our home for himself. He's always threatened to do that.
Well, you can try. When we free your father, Rutard Palace will be yours again.
I hope so. But that's still far from certain.
How do we even get inside Rutard Palace?
Like I said, through the underground.
Well, I suppose by now I ought to know you don't have back doors here. Just secret passages, eh?
You are in mining country, you know. There's more going on here below ground than above.
How will I find the entrance this time? From the position of some cross again?
No, I'll guide you this time. It's just below the walls. You only need to know where to turn.
Are you ready to go?
There's no point in dallying.
Actually, there's something I need to take care of first. I'll be right back. What did you think of von Bergow's interrogation?
Oh, well, no blood was spilled. Nobody got tortured, and Otto kept all his fingers. So you ask me, it went nice and peacefully.
Isn't it strange how von Bergow suddenly bends over backwards to help us?
Not really. He's a selfish fucker who goes where the wind blows in his favor. Actually, I kinda like that about him.
Is there any chance we could actually pull off this robbery?
Only if everybody does what they're told. You included.
I thought that was water under the bridge.
I'd love to forget that beating, believe me. But the body gets old, and every new wound takes longer to heal than the one before.
Now you sound like some grandpa with one foot in the grave.
Watch that grandpa doesn't tickle your belly with a knife in the night, you cheeky bugger. But hey, let bygones be bygones. Actually, it's a good thing we didn't have to slaughter those dung grubbers. But now you have to listen to your elders and betters. Got it?
But what if the plan falls apart?
I won't lie. There's a very high chance some things will go belly up. And if it does, we'll all be praying for a quick death.
You're not serious about praying for a quick death, are you?
You fucking bet I am. Getting caught with Sigismund's silver in our clutches would be the beginning of a very long and fucking painful journey to the afterlife.
What will happen to von Bergow now?
What do you think? He'll stay here. Pisek will watch him and keep him company. Well, he may not be as pretty as Rutard's daughter, but he could get some more useful information out of him.
What will you do when me and Lady Rosa go to town?
We need to fix ourselves up. We've got some wounded to take care of. We also need to work out some details of our plan.
Such as?
That Rutard passageway will help us. But it's only the first step. We need to know how the court runs, and then what we'll load the silver onto, and where we'll take it. And, just in case, we need to know escape routes from the town.